Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. Another week gone by. This time it wasn't just your average, ordinary week, though, for me. It was a week of celebration. My brother had a birthday this past week. So did one of my good friends. She had a birthday, too. In fact, they were only apart by 2 days. So we decided to have a combined celebration for these people that matter so much to me and my friends. We went to, before we hung out, we played some games, Mario Party, matter of fact, had some fun. We went to go eat some teppanyaki, which is always a good thing. Eating with, anybody, your friends, whatever, is always a good thing, but it's even better if the food is delicious. And man, it was delicious. Got a little, maybe a little too much to eat, but, had some leftovers. That's always the best, isn't it? When you have enough food for you to have leftovers the next day. It's always a good thing. It's like a double whammy. You get dinner out of the way, and you also get the next day's lunch out of the way, too. It's like, oh, yeah, double whammy. This is a good thing. I should do this more often. But it would, probably cost me a pretty penny, but, if I was able to split my dinner with to be dinner and then lunch the next day, hey, I could, make a, I could sustain that. Probably not as long as I could, but, whatever. I always enjoy, though, celebrating with friends and family about these type of things. Birthdays, special occasions. It's a good way to, show somebody that you care about them, that you enjoy them being a part of your life. I got my brother a present, an actual present, not a gift card, not cash. I got him a present, unlike some people in my family who got him cash, which, hey, he loved it. He was cool with it. He was cool with cash. He was like, yes, thank you. I love cash. And I was like, yeah, cool. Sure you do. Yeah, cash is cool. But I'm going to tell you this right now, man. Whether it be a birthday, Christmas, whatever kind of holiday, anniversary, I truly do think that getting somebody a gift of either what they want, or if, it's something that they don't necessarily need, but it would be a good gift for them, is better than getting them just cash. Because you get somebody cash, depending on the person, they might spend it on something silly, stupid, dumb, or even worse, they might just not even use it. They'll just keep it, pocket that cash, and just do nothing with it. So, not saying that I haven't given cash out before. I have for birthdays and celebrations, and I've done that before. But I'll be honest, whenever I hear or whenever I see that this person has not spent the money that I gave to them as a gift, it kind of bothers me. It bothers me in a way. It's like, if you're not going to use it, can I get that back? I mean, if you're not going to put it in the bank, if you're not going to do anything with it, you're not going to spend it, this, that, the other, can I just get it back? Sometimes I feel like, that would be, that would suit the money better, to give it back to its rightful owner. Sometimes I feel like that. But, as I've gotten older too, it's been harder to give gifts. But this year, for my brother, I knew, I narrowed it down. I asked him, hey, what you want? What do you feel like you need? What do you want? And I got him the gift, and I was like, you know what? I feel like I did a good thing. It's the little things in life like that you walk around, you're like, hey, I actually did something that was thoughtful and meaningful, and a good thing, an actual good deed to brighten this guy's day up. On his birthday, it's like, hey, I think this much about you. Use it. Now, I think that, giving somebody money is also, a fine thing, but also kind of depends, I think, on the amount, how much you give that person, kind of quantifies how much you care about that person, how much it shows that you care about that person in the amount of money that you give them as a gift. Now, back when you were younger, you could probably receive like a $10 bill, like when you were 5 years old, 6 years old. Like, it would be the best thing ever. You can go buy some candy, you can go buy a snack, you can go buy this or that. When you get to the teenage years, you expect like a little bit more. Hey, how about a 20? Maybe 50, possibly. But then it gets to the point where it maxes out at a number, and it should not go past that number. But I probably shouldn't even go under that number either, and that's 100. For family members, friends, maybe close friends, cousins, relatives, possibly. $100 bills, I think, when you are past the age of 21, if you're close family-wise, I think a nice $100 bill is a pretty good amount for a gift to somebody. Boy or girl, guy or girl, whatever, it doesn't matter. Now, I think that anything less than $100 is kind of messed up, I'll be honest. Like, if you're going to give somebody who's like 25, you could probably use the cash, to better his life. Giving them $80 is a dumb number, a really stupid amount to give a person for their birthday. It also kind of seems like you're being a little cheap, I'll be honest. Now, I don't normally give out that amount of money if I do for a birthday or something like that. I usually always go for 100 because it shows you that, hey, you know what? Here's 100, a nice 100. That's like the biggest amount you could receive in a single bill. So here you go. Here's that. Take that, do whatever you want with it, but here it is. That's how much I care about you. I care about you 100% in dollar forms, in money. There you go. $100 right then, right there for you. That, I think, is a good amount. Now, of course, you can probably go 200 if they're your from your parents, maybe. If your parents love you, like they give you like nice 200, possibly one from each. But if it's like me, if I was going to give somebody a gift and it was going to be cash and not an actual gift, it'd be $100 for someone really close to me, like a sibling or a parent. $100. That's pretty good. If it's like a couple, like say if I'm giving like a couple a gift, like for an anniversary or Christmas, whatever. Let's say I give them a gift card to like a restaurant, like a nice restaurant. You better not give them like $50 as the amount for that gift card. I don't care where you go, bro. You got to give them at least 100 on that. Don't give me that 75, 80 shit. Give them 100. Because you don't know. What if the food there that they want is expensive? You're giving them money to have like a good night. Have a good dinner. Have a good meal. Why would you limit them with giving them like less than 100? You don't know how much the food's going to cost there. What if they want appetizers? What if they want drinks? Give them the amount to let them have a good time. That's what I'm about too. In terms of gift cards, per se. Always give them a good amount where they can really have a good time. Really a good time. See these people, sometimes they just give them stupid ass amounts. Silly amounts. I cannot believe the amounts that they give these people for their special occasions. Like again, like I said, birthdays, anniversaries, whatever. So that was that. I mean, it was a good day. It was a good couple days. Hung out with the fellas. 2 days in a row. So it was nice to get back together. Kind of got me thinking though, like I will be turning the big 30 next month. And we were just chatting like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do for your birthday? And honestly, you know what? Knowing me, I'm not the type of person to have big bombastic celebrations for myself for my birthday. I don't really ask for that many gifts either. I just ask for a good time, I guess. And I was kind of thinking going to like a brewery, like a nice brewery where we can just chill out, eat some cool food, drink some beers, have a good time, and just that'd be it. Honestly, that would be it. Like that is something that I would enjoy doing very, very much. I've mentioned it. We've talked about it. We're thinking like, you know what? Brewery sounds pretty cool. Just chill out, have some beers, and just hang out. Get a nice buzz going to a nice one. Not like plastered or hammer, like just a nice buzz. Sip some waters along the way. No driving, of course, and just like, have some fun. The one thing that I absolutely don't want to do and I want to avoid so badly is to get absolutely hammered, just absolutely plastered, because I haven't gotten plastered like that in a couple years. And the last time I did not enjoy it very much. I was not a fan. I did not feel good. I did not feel right. The hangover was actually real. I was developing hangovers more and more as I got older, and I just don't want to mess with it. I don't want to try it. I don't want to attempt, getting a really, really bad hangover. It's just not something I want to do at the age of 30 anymore. You know what I'm saying? But, also, I am all for buzzes. Buzzes are pretty awesome. It's like if you can get a good buzz, maintain that buzz, however you do it, by eating bread, sipping on water, maybe get a liquid IV, chug that down and have some beers along the way. I'm all for that. But maybe not blackout drunk anymore. I think I've been blackout drunk like maybe 5 times in my life. Maybe more. I mean, my friends could probably contest. And it is not fun. Not fun at all. Every time, I mean, like on the journey to that is very fun. The journey to getting blacked out drunk is so much fun. But actually blacking out and then waking up when it's like middle of the day and you feel terrible is not good. I highly, highly, highly don't recommend that you do that. Like, it's just not fun. It's not something that I particularly look like, oh yeah, remember when I did that? And like am fond of it. I'm like, ugh, what the hell was I thinking, So that would be sick though. That would be sick to just go and just maintain that buzz. Sometimes my friends are also kind of saying like, what if and I was also part of this, like we should get lit one weekend because we don't get lit that much anymore. And every time we get lit, it's only like one person getting lit. I swear to God, there's been many times where I decided to get lit. Right, this is years ago, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when I would get lit and then I would be videotaped, because I'm the only one that's as lit, as you can be, and still like do stuff without blacking out. And I'm like, first of all, you're taping me when I'm lit. This is unfair. Anything that I say when I'm lit is not me, because I have no control. I mean, when you black out, like, and you are gone, you are like gone, that's not even you anymore. That's like another version of you. That's like somebody else emerging from your brain and taking control like that. It's just not you. And I saw the footage. I'm like, I can't believe that I said that. I can't believe that I did that. That doesn't seem like what I would actually do, because that's insane. But luckily, that's never been public either. It's always been like at my place or the place I live. And then like, it's just been maintained and kept under wraps. Thank Christ. Not saying that I have I go completely insane, but I argue with people. I don't shut up, and it's like, oh god, it's just cringe. It's cringe. Like it's not something that I'm proud of, but also fuck you to the person that took that video, because like I have no control of what I'm saying at that moment. I have no control of what I'm doing at that moment. What I'm saying is absolute bullshit, and I probably don't even believe it at all. So like it's just like so silly that hopefully, this time, this go around, all my friends were like agreeing, like, yo, let's all get lit. Just fulfill that promise. Fulfill what you said, and let's truly get lit. Because I'm all in for that. I think that would be cool, that we just get lit. And we don't have to just get like lit and just like, that's it, burn out on the couch. But like we could do like some games with that, maybe some beer pong, maybe some card games while we get lit, and then just like, wherever the night takes us, And you know what? I would say this. We are not like super young anymore as friends. We've all aged pretty, a good amount since we've known each other. Why? We don't need to go like as hard as we did when we were younger, even though y'all didn't go hard at all. We could probably tone it back. We're older now. It doesn't go down as smoothly as it once did. And possibly, I would suggest that maybe we just kind of aim for the buzz. Aim for a nice buzz. And just see where that takes us. I would be all in for that. I truly would be like, yeah, let's do it. I have no problem with that at all. None whatsoever. Just make sure that it's not like in a public state. You know what? I'm also the person that I've noticed throughout my entire life, I don't really enjoy getting publicly lit. It's not a fun experience. Because I am also the person that always drives myself to these events. And I also am a big fan of coming home from these events. Coming home on my own dime, in my own car, under my own responsibility. So if we do go out, let's say we do go out, I would need an actual driver. I wouldn't actually do this on my own if I, didn't have a driver. So, and I make that very clear. If I'm going to go out, right, to a restaurant to eat with some friends or whatever, and then I decide to get, I'm going to get a beer, like one beer, and then I'll wait a while after that, and then I'll take off. But I will never be like, I'm going to go to a restaurant and get like 7 beers and then leave right after. Like that, to me, well, first of all, that's illegal. You should never do that. But I don't like that feeling of, not being able to leave when I want to. Not being able to go home when I want to, when I need to. Like when dinner's done, let's go. It's time to go. I am not a person that is going to be like, well, I'm going to have like 10 drinks and then I guess someone else could drive me because I'm irresponsible. No, that's never happened to me before. If I have 1 beer with dinner, I'll wait an hour after, have some water with that, sober up, even though it's not really, I'm not actually drunk, but I do, you need to be careful. And just like, after that, go. Wait an hour, then go. That's all you gotta do. If it's 1 beer. And I never, ever really, even now, barely drink when I go out anymore. Barely drink. Unless somebody's driving. But that's never the case, so I never really do anyway. So I just kind of sworn off that. Because I like driving myself home and being responsible. That might sound like that I'm a downer, that I'm no fun. But I just enjoy, getting myself home. Whatever that may be. If that means I don't drink, then I don't drink. I just don't have anything. Then I just don't do it and I just go home. I'll have a soda or water. It doesn't really matter. And lately, I've been starting to, try to eat better, trying to drink better. By that, I mean just drinking more water and not as much other things. So I'm kind of in this whole process and this whole mindset of cutting out a lot of stuff that is bad for you and in the process, it has been very, very, very hard to cut out stuff. I feel better. Don't get me wrong. I feel a lot better. I go on the treadmill pretty much every day now. Since I got a gym membership, I've been going on the treadmill every day. And I mean, I'm going to start putting in weight training in that too. But I'm going to be honest with you. The cravings are still there. They're absolutely 100% still there. Bad food is out there, and I want to seek it out a lot of times. Not as much as you would think. Like, for instance, when I was younger, maybe 10 years ago, I was a fiend for fast food. I loved it. I loved it so much. I would always want to get it. I would always want to get a lot of it. There were times where me and my buddies would go to McDonald's and get too much food for all of us and just chow down and just house all that food. And we felt like nothing, no remorse, no regrets, nothing after that. No stomach issues, no feeling bloated, no feeling sick, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, approaching 30 years old, I rarely have a crave for McDonald's or any real fast food out there anymore. Any real fast food. And I actually thank God for that. Thank Christ for that. As much as I do enjoy McDonald's, I do like it. When you have it, it's so goddamn good. But whenever I crave it, I know it's not good for me. Like, I know it's just not a good thing. Something that I should not be eating on at all, really. I mean, it's just not good for you at all. Yeah, I mean, if I'm in a pinch, if I need a meal, if I'm, on the road or something like that, I'll get some like that. I'll get some McDonald's, sure, whatever. Quick stop to eat if I'm hungry, yeah, sure. Got nothing else around? Yeah, okay, I'll get that. Forgot to make dinner, didn't have any dinner plans? Okay, sure, yeah, I'll go grab something to eat and then that'll be it. But I'm not like someone that's like, ooh, should we get McDonald's? Or, ooh, how about we get, some Burger King? Or how about we go get Taco Bell? Even Taco Bell, which I love, I've cut down quite a bit on. Because the food at fast food restaurants is not good and has gotten worse in the past, I would say, 7 years of me getting food. Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King, Carl's Jr., they've all just gotten bad. I mean, really bad. Like, the taste, and maybe it's just because I've gotten older, the taste to me just doesn't do it anymore. Just does not do it. Like, I have tried and tried and tried to get good, good tasting Taco Bell. Like it used to be 5 years ago. I have not gotten Taco Bell that has tasted that good in a long time, on a consistent basis. Whether it's because they cook it bad, or it sits out for a little too long, or the ingredients to me, the flavor for me has just not been a thing that I crave anymore, or that I even like anymore. I don't know what it is, but it's just not as good as it used to be. The fact also, too, that it all costs a lot more than it once did doesn't help either. I mean, I went to McDonald's maybe a month ago, and I got 2 sausage egg McMuffins. And I remember when those used to be 2 for $3. Then they went to 2 to $3.50, 2 for $3.88. And I'm pretty sure it was even cheaper than 2 for $3 at one point. And I was like, yeah, this is a good price for these. Because they're not great, but they're freaking delicious for, and that price also makes it delicious. So it's it's good and the price is right, so it feels like it's even better, Well, the prices now are 2 for $5 something. And if you get one, it's actually more for one. One single sausage egg McMuffin is even more than for two, which is doesn't make any sense, but okay, whatever. That's your deal. Cool, whatever. But the sandwich hasn't gotten any better. The sandwich is the same thing. The sandwich has not changed drastically. The sandwich has not gotten any tastier. The sandwich has not gotten any bigger. It's the same exact thing. It's just the price has gone up so much. Now, of course, that's probably because of inflation and shit like that. But like, still, like, the whole point of fast food, I think, is not just a quick bite to eat, but it's supposed to be a cheap thing. It's supposed to be cheap to get you through something. Now that it's becoming more and more gourmet, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to consistently, well, not consistently, but I don't think I'll be able to be partaking in the fast food establishment, in the fast food market, voluntarily for that much longer. Like, oh, let's go get quarter pounders with cheese. Bro, I got a quarter pounder with cheese meal. It was more than $10. We are at a point now in just with fast food and prices around this country that shit just ain't worth it for the price anymore. That shit ain't worth it. And especially like a premier item like their Big Mac at McDonald's. Bro, getting a Big Mac meal at McDonald's for how much it costs is one of like the most like deflating things that you can get. You will not feel good about yourself after you purchase that meal, and you will feel even worse after you consume it. You'll be like, oh my God, what have I done? Because it's just, well, for one, it tastes okay. Big Macs, you know, if you didn't grow up loving them, it's hard to like love them now. They're good, don't get me wrong, but it's all really in the sauce. The sauce is what makes the Big Mac the Big Mac. Let's be honest. And if you don't have the love for it already, and you're not a big fan of it anyway, you're probably going to be like, it's okay. And just like the size of it, it's called the Big Mac, but it's pretty small, and it's got a lot of bread and a lot of lettuce and not a whole lot of meat. And I was looking up this shit, and I hear people say this, that the bread at McDonald's is pretty high in sugar. Remember that thing that came out with Subway? I think it was in Ireland. Like, they would not consider Subway's bread because it just had too much sugar in it, and it was like chemically imbalanced, and it would not be able to be called bread legally because of what is in it. Like, I feel like the bread at McDonald's is gotta be high in sugar. Like, just high in sugar, because they put sugar in all breads now, even at the store. Could you only imagine how much they put in it in a McDonald's bun? You know, they say that McDonald's and fast food is addictive, but what is it about it that is addictive? Is it the grease? Possibly. The meats, the cheeses? Yeah, probably true. But it's got to be, if you think about it, sugar. The sugar in that bread. The sugar is got to be the most addictive thing, because for one, sugar is the most addictive substance in this country. It truly is. Firsthand, hand up. I have been addicted to sugar many, many, many times in my life. I would consume so much goddamn candy every year for Halloween when I was a kid, when we would have it in the build up to Halloween, like the days before Halloween when you buy the candy and prepare, that shit would be gone. And I mean gone so quickly because of how addicted I was to sugar. I used to kill, like absolutely murder, rows and rows of Chips Ahoy, of Oreos, of store-bought cookies that are not those brands. Like, just like one time my mother made a bunch of cookies. She made chocolate chip cookies, and I ate all of them and got sick from them because I could not stop eating them because of the sugar. It's got to be the sugar that brings people back to these places, you know? It's a little bit, though. It's like a little bit in the bun, not a little bit, but like It's in the bun. It's probably disguised by like another chemical that's in that bun to make it look like a bun to, to get you to come and buy it again and again and again and all that stuff. And it's just like, dang, like y'all got me. You got me on you went fishing, you caught me on in my cheek and just reeled me in. You got me again, bro. Something actually embarrassing that I'm going to tell you about this right now, right? 2 days ago, I'm about to go celebrate my brother and my friend's birthday. Like I said, we went to go eat teppanyaki. But up until before that, I was craving sugar. Craving it bad. Like really bad. Like I just wanted something sweet. Something sweet and delicious. So I was like, what should I eat? So I go to the pantry. And in the middle of the pantry, like in the middle shelf of the pantry, just right in front so I can see it, is a bag. A plastic bag with every single ingredient that you need to make s'mores. Graham crackers, Hershey's chocolate, and marshmallows. And I love s'mores. Like as I've gotten older, I've just been more and more of a s'mores fan. So you know what I did? I actually turned on the stove, I cracked it on, and then I decided to make and devour 4 s'mores. 4 of them. After I ate that, and this is it. This is like modern me. Like I'm working out now. I'm trying to eat better. I'm trying to better my life. I'm pushing 30. I'm like, why not start now? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I conclude the feast. I devour the s'mores. They're in my belly, metabolizing, digesting. And immediately after I finish that, I feel terrible. I feel absolutely god awful. Not like I'm sick, not like my stomach is queasy, but I just feel bad. Like I just had too much sugar, and I was like, ugh. Like I didn't feel motivated to do anything after that. Didn't feel tired, just felt slow. I was like, oh. The sugar rush just like plummeted me so hard. The blood sugar, whatever, is just like decimated. And that was all my fault. And that was from a day where I did not work out because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the day off. So what do? I fucking go insane and just, have a bad eating day. Before that, I had 5 slices of pizza, a bagel. I was like, oh my God, I just ruined everything I worked towards. Thank God, I went the day after, though, so, I felt better. Of course, the day after that happened, I went to the gym and I was like, okay, good, I worked out. I feel good now. I feel better. But that day, before the dinner, before teppanyaki, before the celebrations of my brother and my friend, made a huge mistake. Big mistake. First of all, probably no one at the age of 30 should be eating 4 s'mores. 1, cool, sure. 2, pushing it. Pushing it for sure. 4, though, absolutely not. That should not be had. No adult should be consuming that much sugar in such a small amount of time. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really care for marshmallows besides with s'mores. I decided to fuck around and I just ate a marshmallow by itself. I haven't eaten a marshmallow by itself in at least 15 years because I was never really a fan. That shit was incredibly good. Sugary, sweet. It was beautiful, fluffy, airy. It was like, dude, this is perfect. Marshmallows are amazing. Why haven't I been eating these? And I was like, dude, I pretty much was I don't know what it is now. I have no idea what it could be, but I'm just so addicted to sugar right now. Addicted. You know how when people get older, they tend to lean towards sweets more. I've noticed this within relatives that I know of, they just crave desserts now like that when they're older. I'm like, holy shit, I think I'm kind of becoming this. Like, because you kind of have it when you're a kid, when you're like a really young kid. And at least for me, it kind of went away after that. Like, I didn't really care for sugar all that much. I was more of a savory guy. But then I, got older and I was like, wait, hold on. Sugar's kind of fucking amazing. And it's better than I thought it was. I think it's because, like, I'm an adult and I don't need to wait for dessert time to eat dessert or wait for, my mom or my dad to say, yeah, you can have a cookie. I can just have a cookie whenever I want. I can just have a candy whenever I want. Like, I can pick up a candy whenever. I can go to the store right now and pick up a king-size Twix and eat that king-size Twix. Not even at home, just on the road. Right then and there, just eat it. Like, I could do that if I want to. But, should I? For freedom, yes. Because I'm a free man. And I will not be suppressed. But, is it good for you? Absolutely not. It's not. So, what have I been doing to combat this? What I've been doing to combat this is eating natural sugars. Natural. I was eating some cherries before I started to record this episode. Cherries have a lot of sugar in them, but at least I know that's natural. It's from something from a tree. So it can't be as bad. I mean, of course you got to eat them in moderation, of course. But I think it's a much better alternative than eating 4 s'mores. I could not believe myself, because there is sugar in the graham cracker, there is sugar in the chocolate, and there is a ton of sugar in that freaking marshmallow. And I just felt like I was just like in a super bad place. A terrible place. I couldn't believe it. I told my friends too. I told my friends exactly what I just told you guys. The 4 s'mores. And they all laughed at me. They were actually embarrassed. They're like, Jesus fucking Christ. What have you done? And I'm like, dude, I don't even know. I just lost my shit and I had to have s'mores. I had to have sugar. And that was like one of like the latest like relapses I've had in my life, where I felt like, holy shit, I have lost control. And you know what's crazy though? When you are in the moment, you don't feel like you've lost control until the feeling you get after you've already lost control. Like I told you, when I had all those s'mores, and I was like, I just felt bad. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't even want to go to eat dinner. I was like, I'm done. Put me out. I'm over. I can't do anything after that. I still went, but I was like, ugh, this is not a good feeling. So I guess, like, that's where discipline comes in. That's where, you really, really, really need to have self-control. And that also applies to not just sugar, but any type of food, alcohol, whatever it is. You need to have self-control. Life is all really about self-control. If you really think about it, you could pretty much eat like a lot of things that you do enjoy. You just got to have self-control. Like, if you're going to have pizza, instead of having like half the pizza, have like 2 or 3 slices and then call it a night. As much as you want to eat pizza more and more and more, and I get it. The way they make pizza now, sometimes you can just inhale an entire box by yourself. And you'd be like, what? It's just one pizza. But you look at what is in that pizza, what's on that pizza, how much calories that's in, how much all this stuff is in. You'll be like, Jesus Christ, I ate the entire amount of food that I should have had for like one day within one meal. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. So the goal is, moving forward, we must have self-control. We don't have this, it's not only gonna be painful for everybody around you, but yourself included, and especially you yourself. You don't have that control, bro, it's gonna be terrible. It'd be awful. Now, I've actually kind of, been thinking about that relapse of sugar, and I've been eating pretty well since. It's only been 2 days, but I feel like I have been eating okay since, and not a ton. Like yesterday, I had a steak, right? I had a steak and a baked potato. I didn't finish either of them. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now because I used to kill meals, right? Finish the plate. And I still believe in that. But I had some food before that too. So I was thinking to myself, hey, I had food before I actually ate dinner, right? I ruined my appetite, whatever you want to say. So, past Alex, probably would have killed that entire meal, even though he had just eaten like maybe an hour and a half ago. But current Alex, much more responsible Alex, has decided, you know what? I'm listening more to my stomach now. I'm going to be a better listener when it comes to my stomach. If I don't feel like I need to finish this or I want to finish this, or if I feel satisfied, I'm just going to stop eating because that's always like what you should be doing. You should be listening to your stomach and being like, yeah, I'm full. I'm going to stop because I don't want to overeat. I don't want to be like I finished this and not feel great. I'm just going to stop. I'll have leftovers tomorrow for lunch or whatever, and then I'm going to call it a night. It's really that simple. I think that if we do that more than just house all your food at once, like we would have such a better physique, a better outlook, and much, much more better discipline when it comes to consuming food. I don't know. Maybe that's something that we can look at and be like, hey, that is an actually good idea. Why don't we just do that now? It's fun to think about, but it's also like something that you don't want to limit yourself on. But at the same time, it's very good for you. And if you think about it being good for you, it'll be easier for you to do it. Like if it's so easy to look at things and be like, yeah, that would benefit me by a lot. That would benefit me a ton, actually. But do I want to? The pros outweigh the cons tremendously. And you're like, yeah, I'll do it. Why not? So yeah, I guess the whole thing about that was just like having self-control over anything, food, drink, you name it. Moving on though, last week, pretty much when this episode dropped, Thursday, there was a new social media that was launched by Meta and Zuck. And it's called Threads. And what is it, you may ask? Is it innovative? Is it revolutionary? Is it worth getting? Is it a new experience that you've never experienced before? Is it going to revolutionize social media? Is it going to change you? Is it going to change the people that use it? Will people hop from Twitter to it? Probably not, but it was fun. It is fun. And why I say it was fun is because I haven't really used it since the first 3 days that it's been out, I'll be honest. Threads is what it's called, and it came out last week. And when it came out, it was like being reborn, I have to say. Now, I've been on Twitter and Instagram for more than 10 years. Both of them more than 10 years. Twitter was 2011. Instagram was 2012 for me. So I've been on those two social medias for 11 and 12 years. And I've been, it's been a while since a new social media app has popped up. And I'm not talking about like Vine or TikTok where you just share videos and just like an entertainment type of app. I'm talking about like a social media platform where you could post like actual texts, what you thinking. Also, media as well. I have to say, when I first got Threads, I was like, should I get this? Should I do this? I was like, yeah, why not? Why not get Threads? It's immediately linked to your Instagram, so if you have Instagram, you can have Threads. It just activates it on another app and you have it. You have all your followers from Instagram that are on there already that you can just hit one button that says follow all of these people, and then they have the option, if they ever get it, to follow you back, and they'll have that notification waiting for them when they do get it, if they do get it. And the rush that I was feeling, the actual excitement that I was also feeling of being on a fresh new social media was bliss. It was so much fun. And it wasn't just me too. You had people that I would follow, so that people that follow me back, that were posting on Threads like they haven't posted on a social media platform within the last 10 years. People did not give a damn what they said. Not in a bad way, just in a fun, entertaining, and freely way. People were posting what should I eat for dinner? I've heard that this movie's cool. Maybe I'll watch this movie. Look what I did. Look what I drew. Look what I had to eat. Stuff like that. Just so simple, so innocent, so free. So with not the anxiety of whatever you tweet out to be ridiculed and criticized and pointed out, and people trying to be like, I'm going to cancel you. None of that was even a thought on that app. You could tell everybody on that app was having so much fun, including me. First thing I did was promoted the podcast. Hey, check out the podcast on a new platform. And then I put that same day when it came out, I tweeted, this is so cool. Everybody's just having fun. And it was cool. It was incredible. It was something that I haven't seen in 10 years. How people were just firing off whatever they had in their brain at that moment. And it was this is what it was always supposed to be. This is how it was always meant to be. Everybody's engaging. They're having fun. People are commenting on other people's stuff in a very friendly, loving, free way. I was like, dude, this is a breath of fresh air. This is a actual breath of fresh air. And I can't I can't explain it, but it just felt free. It felt fun. It felt like people actually were getting along for the first time and not being ridiculed, not being attacked, not being targeted, not being in somebody's crosshairs of pointing something out or trying to start up shit. Everybody was just having fun. And the most beautiful thing too is when the first came out, the first day that it was on there was zero, and I mean zero ads. Not a single ad that I saw. Everything that I saw was a post from somebody that I follow. A post that they actually typed out, that they actually wrote, and that they actually posted. I couldn't believe it. It's been so long since you've seen ad stuff, verified accounts just tweeting about, an article or some stuff like that, somebody promoting something that's their sponsor. It was the first time in so many years that you saw just genuine people posting on a social media platform. And it was actually beautiful. I could not believe it. It's like I was reliving the bliss that when you first got social media, when everybody was just like, hey, how you doing? Hey, what's up? You hear too? People were like, hey, yo, what's up? You made it. People were saying you made it. It was incredible. It was actually pleasant and fun to be a part of. And then after the first 2 days of, checking it religiously and battling my time between Twitter, Threads, Instagram, I kind of forgot about it. If I'm being honest, I kind of forgot about it. One day I just kind of forgot that I had the app. And just, I've been back since, but not as much as I would like to be. Because I gotta admit, having 3 social medias now is a little overwhelming. It feels like a little much. Like I got more stuff to do. Like I got chores now. Like I gotta check Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. It's a lot. Because I think, as much as Threads is cool, do I think that it will overtake Twitter? It could. But then that means that Twitter will become obsolete. And that we would all have to switch over to Threads. Do I want that? Possibly. I mean, it would be a cool thing to do. Because Twitter and Threads are the same exact thing pretty much. So one has to go. One will survive and one will die. I'm not sure who that will be when it's all settled, but like I don't see a world where both of these apps can survive because they do the same exact thing. That market is already full. Threads was released to probably kill Twitter, if I'm being honest. And they're being sued by Twitter too. So you can definitely tell that Musk is like, you know what? They're trying to take me down. And Zuck's like, yeah, I am. Probably. Possibly. So they're being sued, right? They're being attacked. They're trying to, the market can really only withstand one of these apps to survive, to move on. Which do I prefer, though? At the moment, Threads, because it's so fun, even though I don't check it as much as I did the first time, just because it's just overwhelming. But Threads was pretty fun. There's no trending page on it as of right now, so that's pretty cool. So it's just like the search, the little the magnifying glass icon is just to search accounts, which is beautiful. It's just like not full of clutter that I need to see all the time. So that's pretty cool. And honestly, Twitter, the fact that people can buy a check mark is like, it's so oversaturated of how many blue check marks that I see. And it's like, anyone can buy it. So some loser with like 20 followers has a blue check mark. And before I even click on his profile, I think that he's some kind of official guy. Like, I actually hate that's part of Twitter now. That anybody can just buy a blue check mark and they will have it. And I think that they're actually like a verified famous person. Like that's like one of my big things that I just did not give a shit when Elon took over. Like this is just, it's too much, I think. It's like everybody's special. Well, nobody is, to quote like fucking The Incredibles. That type of shit. So it all kind of depends on who's going to, who's going to kill each other, who's going to kill one another, who's going to kill the other one off. At the moment, people are enjoying Threads, and so am I, even though I don't use it as much as I did for those first 2 days. But I still use it from time to time, and it's still fun. It's just fun. But I feel like Twitter is where I get more of the news, which is like part of what I hate about Twitter, but also a kind of a useful thing that Twitter does, is that it's like real-time news. And it's like, you can definitely tell that that's more people's professional social media than Threads. So, I don't know. It's just like, I guess we'll just see which app is sustainable, more sustainable, which app can actually thrive more, which app can actually get more people to use in terms of like, just having fun. It might be Threads. It might be. I don't know. Definitely something to look out for. Definitely something to see what happens, because you also have to remember, bro, the people that you followed on Instagram, you probably just followed for their photos, right? Now you're following the people for like, their essentially their tweets, their threads, what they think, their opinions. It's like, oh shit, I forgot that you actually speak and not just post photos, because no one reads the captions on these Instagram photos, right? Am I being wrong here? Like, I don't look at like these Instagram photos and like really read the entire caption most of the time. I just kind of look at the photo and be like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's all right. I like never really ever read those captions, if I'm being completely honest. So seeing the people that I followed for their photos and seeing them post actual text posts, text threads, is interesting. It's new. It's like, oh, this opened like a whole new world to see your brain. I now really get to see you tick and what you think of. It's kind of cool, but it's also like, did I need this? Is it really, a necessity? It could be. It could. You never know. Threads could be the number one social media by next year, possibly. I mean, if you looked at the rate of how many subscribers they got within like the first day, it outpaced every other social media platform out there. Like, it gained traction so fast. Like, unless they have like a big decline within this year, it could probably be one of the official social medias for everything, business, whatever. Because let's be honest, Twitter became like an official thing for businesses. You watch like SportsCenter, you see like the anchor's name, and underneath is going to be their Twitter handle. It's like become like professional to have Twitter, to be on Twitter, to see that person's like tweets is like become like part of their profession. Now, would that ever switch to Threads? Would they ever show like their Instagram or their Instagram account or their Threads account? I don't know. That could be a thing that could possibly happen. The question is are we going to, adapt to that? Are we going to adapt to that? Are we going to be like, nah, this is too much? I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. One last thing before I go, though. One last thing. James Gunn has announced that there are going to be more characters in the upcoming Superman Legacy than I think a lot of people thought. Let's be honest. Not only are we going to have Superman and Lois Lane, which have already been cast, by the way. It's been out for a while. But we're also getting a lot of other DC characters in this one movie, which is kind of concerning for me, if I'm being completely honest. So far, we have Superman, Lois Lane, that's a given. But we're going to get a Green Lantern played by Nathan Fillion. His name is Guy Gardner, which I have no idea who he is, but that's who he is. Already a Green Lantern in the film. We're going to get Hawk Girl, which is a pretty big character, if I remember from the cartoon Justice League. And then we're going to get another character. I think his name... Let me find it right now, because he's a character that I don't really have any knowledge of, I'll be honest, but he is a comic book character. In fact, get it right now. Just go to James Gunn. Let's see. Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific, who is sounds like another superhero. And then also there's this guy called Metamorpho. Looks like a bad guy. He's being played by the dude who plays NoHo Hank in Barry, which is a good show. That's a lot of characters. Sounds like a lot of main characters in our Superman film, which, listen, I'll be honest. I love James Gunn's recent film, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I thought it was an incredible film. One of the better films that Marvel's made in the past 2 years, if not the best. And the news of these characters being in this film is just like, are we putting too much in this movie? Are we putting a little too much that it won't feel like just like a Superman film? Maybe they're only in it for like a little bit. Maybe it's just going to be for like a cameo and that's about it, just to build the universe. But I think that when you announce characters like this so early in the process of the movie comes out in 2 years from now, I believe. And it just feels like, this is going to be not just a Superman movie, that this is just going to be like a universe movie part 1. The DCEU, the DCU movie part 1. It just feels like it's going to get, Superman might be a little overshadowed by these other people, these other characters that are going to be in his film. Now, that just might be me overreacting to the news, but from looking at it at a glance, which is, all I can really look at it from, my speculation is this movie might be a little overcrowded. Maybe we might not get as much like Superman as we do like all these other characters that seem to be very important to the DCU. So that's like my main concern is like, are we putting too much in our Superman film? But then again, he's gone on record saying that this movie, Superman Legacy, is not a Superman origin story. So we really just have to wait and see, But we can't lose the sight of the main character in this film, Superman. Like we need to, I can only hope, and pray that this man, James Gunn, still maintains that this is a Superman film through and through. And these people are just going to be, or these other characters are just going to be there to bring it up as well, as one film to really establish the universe, but also establish the character of Superman too, and also stand on their own as their own individual characters, which is if they're going to be in the universe, they need to matter. They can't just be there and just be cameos. Like, why even just announce that? Why is that even newsworthy? If they're just cameos. Like, you got me with Superman, bro. You got me with a new Superman, a new look on, a new dawn of Superman. I don't need anything else. Like, all this other stuff is just like making my brain go crazy. Like, is this really a Superman film? Is this gonna be Superman, Hawkgirl, and Green Lantern type of Justice League film? I don't know. Maybe, again, I might just be over speculating this, but that news just kind of brought me to like, this seems like a little much. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Remember, you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. New episodes drop every Thursday. Make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and do all that good stuff. And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, everybody. And I will see you guys next week.